Newton witnessed an apple falling and discovered gravity. Ruth Graves tried to bake a cake and accidentally discovered chocolate chips. Tracy Chapman was busking her way to her big break. We all wish for one opportunity, one unexpected chance to succeed, one rare possibility to change our lives forever. We can't all wait for an apple to fall, but we all want to be in the right place at the right time, where opportunities are carefully suggested and possibilities are available to all. INX-1, Wealth of Investment Opportunities.
Good morning, good afternoon. We'll give it another minute or so to see people coming in. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Shai, Andrew, Ian.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon.
Let's give it another minute. This is being broadcasted live on our
very confusing. We should switch seats.
YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Yeah, I see the name. You can add it.
Andrew, can you sit atop of the Andrew label and then Ian can hold a sign up?
Yeah, I can.
Ian.
Okay. I think we can start now. So welcome everyone again. This is a very exciting AMA for us, both Republic and INX. Earlier this week, we announced a deal, basically an agreement between both companies to collaborate, including an investment transaction. And we wanted to share with both communities, both Republic and INX, to give you some more color and some of the what happened in the backstage and what will happen in the future, because we are colliding two new communities together. We'll maybe do a quick intro from everyone here on the panel. Shai, do you want to take the first lead?
Yes, thank you everybody for joining us, and welcome Andrew and Ian. Thank you so much for being here. We are really excited to announce this collaboration between Republic and INX. We have been working on this agreement for 6 months or something like this, and the relationship between the two companies became on both professional side and the personal side between the people, and it's all about the people eventually. We believe that together, Republic and INX, when we have the full picture of the initial side, more from the Republic side, and the secondary trading more from the INX side, I think we can bring to the market a new venue, a new vision of going from zero fundraising to trading on a fully regulated platform approved by the SEC, and this is very excited for all of us.
Shai, maybe a little bit about your experience and before INX.
Oh, I think people already know me, but I'm coming from 25, 30 years from trading and trading all different type of financial assets, from FX to equity and derivatives. In the past 15, 20 years, I'm more on the technology side and the regulation, of course. And this idea of INX came to my mind at the end of 2017 when I tried to take the wonderful ICO and the blockchain vision and to put everything under the regulatory umbrella and trying to bring my experience from trading, technology, and regulation to the blockchain world.
Excellent. Thank you, Shai. Alan, you'll go next.
Sure. Alan Silbert. I'm the CEO of North America. I've been with INX for over 5 years. My prior background is over 20 years in commercial banking and venture debt lending. And I got into the crypto space and Bitcoin over 10 years ago. Launched a Bitcoin luxury platform around then. So people were selling their Ferraris and villas for Bitcoin. I just dipped my toe in the space, fell in love with it, and got introduced to INX and wanted to leverage my regulated experience from my past life and my crypto experience into Shai's vision.
Please, Republic team.
Yep. Andrew Durkee here, head of Republic Crypto. Just want to say a huge thanks to the INX team out of the gate. This process was incredibly professional. The team is just a joy to work with. We have a lot of similar missions and goals between the two organizations, and it makes this partnership actually really easy. So we're really excited about what this is going to look like going forward. And this is just the first step of a much, much larger journey. I've been in the crypto space for over 13 years. I was CEO and co-founder of a company called the Coin Tree, with first doing multi-sig security storage for Bitcoin back in 2011, 2012, and 2013. I was in the hedge fund space after that, running due diligence and fundamental analysis engineering teams for hedge funds, and most of which was crypto specific. Became a partner at TLDR Capital, which was the #1 ICO advisory firm globally, 2016, 17, and 18. Every major ICO ran through us back then. And I joined Republic in early 2019 to build out what was meant to be the first vertically integrated crypto investment bank. We finished that full integration early last year, and now we're going through a larger digital merchant bank evolution, and INX is a very, very big piece of that. So very excited to be here.
CEO of the broker-dealer at Republic and the global head of capital markets and distribution. I joined at the beginning of this year to add to a very, very strong team of technology engineers and legal engineers, capital markets engineering. Prior to being in this role, I was the CEO of Enigma Securities, an FCA-regulated digital investment bank broker-dealer. And prior to that, I'd spent my whole career on the buy side. I was deputy CIO at Autonomy Capital for a decade. I was portfolio manager at Argonaut and Caxton. And prior to that, I did 6 years of private equity in China. This is a very unique moment for not just the digital asset industry, but financial services more broadly. The tie-up of Republic and INX, to those that have been following this space closely, should be seen as a watershed moment. The first time in which an advanced, sophisticated, highly regulated, transparent marketplace such as INX will be able to meet the scale of investors and of issuance that Republic brings. And together, this will form the basis of a true nose-to-tail ecosystem for the digitization of financial products going forward. And here at Republic, we just couldn't be any more excited to be working with the INX team and to bring to fruition what many in this industry have been waiting for. We're really excited about it.
Thank you all, and we'll hear why this is very good news for the industry. And let's start with the first question that we got prior to the session. Why did we do this deal? Why did we do it now? Shai, Ian, do you want to start?
Shai, why don't you go ahead and I'll follow you.
Well, when we look into the future about the digital world, we both companies believe in regulation and transparency. And we feel that since INX is more on the secondary side trading, and those companies who are looking to raise capital, either as Reg CF or accredited investor Reg D or full prospectus. And this is more on the Republic side. So we believe that together to combine the expertise of both sides, we can serve the market and bring the vision of going from tail to nose when you raise the capital, and is a company we serve those who are raising the capital from the beginning to the end. It's not like a company can raise capital and then go. No, we are still there to give them the service for long term.
Yeah. I obviously echo Shai's thoughts, and I would say that from a primary issuance perspective, having a vibrant, robust, legal, compliant, transparent secondary marketplace will have a very significant positive impact on the primary issuance, not just in the totality of transactions and the size of transactions, but in the kinds of transactions, whether that's real-time securitization or whether that's cultural assets like film or music or sport, whether that's new forms of asset classes, whether it's an intellectual property or elsewhere. We have the legal and the technology architecture to bring these to the market, to bring this to unaccredited as well as accredited investors, to bring this to people in the United States as well as the people overseas, but to really see the promise of this new digitized, broader democratization of finance, we must have transparent, liquid, fair secondary markets. Because in those secondary markets, we will remove one of the biggest obstacles to this next generation, which is the illiquidity discount. And insofar as we can bring liquidity into these secondary markets and have vibrant secondary markets, where it will be the biggest growth driver, the biggest fuel to support the next generation of financial assets, financial inclusion, and digitization of 24/7, 365 markets.
So to be practical, the synergies again are very clear, and we are dealing with this for quite some time together, and we're brainstorming. But for our audience and our listeners, and we understand what the challenges in the industry and what the industry is dealing with, how this partnership will be part of the solution. How do you envision those synergies evolve over time, like from today and in the coming year, 2 years from now?
Yeah, man, I'm happy to jump into that. When we look at where the industry sits now from a digital asset and digital tokenization standpoint, it's really only recently that there's been enough infrastructure in place for it to become viable to a larger market. Previously to now, if you wanted to participate in security token frameworks, you had to work with like 6 vendors, right? And if I wanted to go buy and drink this glass of tea, if I had to go work with 6 different people, I would never drink it, right? And that's a real problem. And so this becomes particularly poignant now when we look at Republic as the largest primary private issuance platform in the world. We also have institutional custodial solutions and tokenization solutions and wallet products. And now we're adding on our partnership with INX, which allows us to provide secondary market access and liquidity, right? And now we're creating an environment where people can work with one vendor, one platform, fully integrated across all these different infrastructure frameworks to participate within either the security token framework or other digital asset frameworks. And that's a huge step forward. That's what really is the watershed moment that Ian's talking about. That's the big change in the space, right? Is now when someone no longer has to go work with a multitude of vendors, they can literally come to one place and start to finish have access to all of the features necessary to participate. And that's what the goal is, right? We want to be able to make this as easy as a process as what online banking is right now, but in the Web3 framework. People do not need to be Web3 native in order to participate now. Everything can be done within one platform that has a very clear Web2 feel, which people are already comfortable with all the Web3 mechanics, underlay technology under that, which you do not have to, you can be completely nascent to that space and be very comfortable working with trusted parties, regulated parties, heavily audited parties that are here in the continental US and operating out of the United States.
Thank you, Andrew. There is a specific question here that I see. I'm currently invested in multiple raises on Republic and Cedars, and I hold the INX token, which is great. It will be nice if the issuers on Republic convert my holdings to security tokens on INX. Is that planned?
It's a great question. I would say the future of Republic and our offerings will be Web3 native. The direction is to go there. Now, for previous offerings, like those are offerings that come from issuers. Those issuers would have to make that decision that they want to convert these equity frameworks into a tokenized framework. Some very well might. But the overall goal is more and more this year, every offering that we're providing on the Republic platform will start to move towards tokenization. So maybe by the end of this year, 30 to 50% of every offering that we do on Republic will be tokenized. Halfway through next year, the vast majority will all be tokenized, of which those will sit within Republic wallets, of which those Republic wallets are directly integrated into INX, which then provides secondary market liquidity for those investors that they never had before, right? And that even though that's just a couple sentences, that is a massive undertaking, huge, complex regulatory requirements, and there's only one partnership in the world that can do that, and that's the partnership between Republic and INX.
I would like to add to this, Andrew. You're so right. From our side, we see mainly in the last couple of months or 3-4 months that with the pressure from the regulators on the unregulated, what the SEC see is the unregulated coin offering, where companies raise capital with tokens. So we see now with the companies are pushing out of the US, and those who would like to raise capital in a regulatory way, they will have to do this in a regulatory way in the future and file something with the SEC. And we have seriously hundreds of companies that are approaching INS and say, okay, help us with the capital raise, and then we will do the listing on the ATS, the platform of INX. Now, with this collaboration, we have the very strong arm of Republic to help the companies to raise the capital and then to come to INX and do the listing.
The distribution network is an important component of any security token offering. We understand it, and definitely one of the main advantages of this partnership. Now, in the past day or two, we're getting a lot of questions about the INX token and also about the Republic note, but maybe first on the INX token. What will happen with the INX token, Alan?
So first, we're going to put in a disclaimer that we have public documents out there that document this very thoroughly. So our prospectus, which is available on SEC EDGAR, is available on our website. Very granularly explains the rights of token holders, as does the token purchase agreement that you signed when you bought the token. So everything that I say should be cross-verified against those public documents. The INX token was designed so that in the event of a change of control of 50% or more of our company, that the cash fund, which is roughly $36 million right now, gets paid out pro rata to the outstanding tokens. So subject to a final accounting, this is roughly 26 or 27 cents per token. This is treated like a one-time special dividend, and the tokens will continue on with their same rights. They will continue trading. They will continue to receive a profit share of the entities that roll up to INX Limited, which is the issuer of the token. Trying to think if there's any other questions that came out about this, but bottom line, one-time special dividend of the cash fund, token will continue with the same rights. And what's also important to realize is that the token is issued by INX Limited, and the profits that roll up to it are the operating entities that currently are at INX. So if there are separate Republic entities that fall above INX Limited in the organizational chart, that is not part of the profit share. But again, please just refer to the public docs. If there's any additional follow-up questions, let us know.
Thank you, Alan. And really the follow-up question is about the Republic note. The INX token is already trading on INX ATS. And the question that we got was when the Republic note will be trading on INX ATS.
Soon. soon is the answer to that question. Certainly by the end of the year. It's something our teams are working on right now. As far as the Republic note is concerned, the distributions associated with the note are a function of the Republic core asset pool. And as note holders are aware, every raise that occurs on the Republic platform from a Reg CF perspective, and contributions from Republic Capital's SPV pools wind up as assets in Republic Core, and it's from Republic Core that distributions take place to the Republic Note. The Republic Note is something we're very proud of. We think it's a significant financial innovation. A repository for that note will be the Republic Wallet, which will be available to everybody in the Republic ecosystem.
And INX ecosystem.
And now the INX ecosystem, as we will list the Republic Note on INX, and the Republic Wallet will be available for INX participants beyond just the Republic Note. So it's really an opportunity to see all of these pieces come together, and it's something that our teams are working on, and it'll happen in short order.
Thank you, Andrew. We are mentioning the Republic Wallet time and time again, and I know how important it is to you, and I think that it will have an important role in the ecosystem altogether. Andrew, what are your thoughts on the idea of self-custody, generally speaking, and its role in the digital asset space? And if I speak about the Republic Wallet specifically, is it going to replace MetaMask, or will be independent on the token? For instance, will the Republic Wallet be based or will be used in the future to provide self-custody for the INX token?
All right, so there's a lot there, so let me eat that elephant one bite at a time. Let's first talk about what the wallet is. So the wallet is the first ever non-custodial multi-asset multi-sig wallet. We built it because we needed it. As a lot of things that we build at Republic, we usually build things for ourselves first. So we're doing tons of different issuances, different tokens, different L1s, different L2s, so different protocols. And having to do distributions to all these different protocols, to all these external addresses, creates many layers of complication. So by having an internal wallet that the entire Republic ecosystem can use, of which we can do all our distributions into, regardless of where that asset comes from, whether that's an ERC20 or an Avalanche or a Polygon or Matic or whatever, that makes the user experience much easier. And again, we get back to this conversation about having to use multiple vendors, right? Right now, if you are participating in these Republic offerings and there's all these different tokens coming out on different chains, you have to have a different wallet for each chain, for each offering. It's very heavy lift, very messy. So now we built it so that everything can be housed within one environment. Your next one of your questions was about self-custody.
Right.
Well, this is a non-custodial wallet, right? So there's a really important framework there, because as we're seeing, at least from a regulatory standpoint, wallets are going to be a very hot item in upcoming regulatory frameworks, particularly as it relates to KYC AML. So anonymous wallets are most likely going to be very difficult to operate compliantly within US frameworks. Republic, everyone that has Republic Wallet is KYC and AML on the Republic platform. So every single wallet, every one of the Republic wallets already meets that requirement. And it's a very, very important designation, because that puts us in a very positive regulatory light in the United States. We're not going to replace MetaMask, because MetaMask is anonymous. You can go and create a MetaMask wallet. I have 10 MetaMask wallets, and you don't have to go through that same regulatory framework. So they really aren't comparable from that lens, as well as MetaMask is very ERC20 focused, obviously, and ours is multi-asset. So I think there's very much a world for MetaMask. It is the most predominant wallet in the space right now. It's not going anywhere. But from a compliance standpoint and a utilitarian standpoint, the Republic wallet becomes very, very, very prominent and very powerful very quickly. So we will not be replacing MetaMask. I will still probably have my 10 MetaMask addresses for quite some time. And I think the other important note is when you look at wallets and user bases, Republic knows exactly how many real users that we have. When you look at MetaMask wallets and they'll say they have 30, 40, 50 million active wallets. Well, again, I have 10. Ian's probably got 30. And so, how many real users are there? It's very hard to delineate. So, we're able to have a much more objective comparison about how much participation happens within our ecosystem versus something like MetaMask.
And I would add to that, from an issuer perspective, And from a trading perspective, the fact that all these wallets are properly KYC'd and linked to an individual makes our ability to distribute securities and registered assets, it makes it possible. It makes it possible, and it opens up a world of compliant distribution for financial assets and securities that just isn't available with alternatives. And so when we have this integrated issuance piece and this integrated secondary market piece and this integrated KYC wallet, what we're going to have is an ecosystem here that is, frankly, more elegant, not just than what exists in crypto and digital finance, but frankly, it's more elegant than anything that exists in traditional finance. And I think if there's something for the viewers of this program to appreciate, it's that what we're building here in this combination is not just a step forward for digital finance. It's actually a much better architecture than what exists in traditional finance. And I think that's the moment that this industry is needed, is for when we didn't just do a better job of doing crypto, but we did a better job of finance and markets than the traditional financial markets did. And this is a huge step in that direction. And having the KYC wallet as a repository for multiple assets on multiple chains with compliant and regulated primary and secondary issuance, that's just a better architecture than what exists in traditional finance today.
Multi-sig, multi-chain wallet is definitely something that is missing, and I'm very much looking forward to integrate the Republic wallet to the INX platform. Another thing that is, yes, we're doing it soon. Another thing that is missing.
It's not that we're waiting to integrate. We have already started the process of integration.
Yes, of course. This is a dream team. We're already done.
Done, but in process.
I know. I was joking. Another thing that is missing in the industry of security token is liquidity. Alan, maybe you will share a little bit on how do you see liquidity finally making its way into the security token space?
Yeah, well, I think it's part of what and/or Ian said before. It's it's taken a long time to, in conjunction with regulators, get everything more seamless in terms of an ecosystem with pieces that are interoperable, that are smoothly operating. And so I think we're kind of like finally getting there, and then this collaboration with Republic gets us even further. So speaking just of like the synergies between the two companies, and I think there's synergies from both a company perspective and synergies from a people perspective as well. Like we I think the two companies fit together with very, very little overlap. And in terms of liquidity, like we have our regulated offerings and our trading platform. Republic has 3 million users of their platform, and so the two fit together very naturally. And then in terms of like people synergies, from the first time we met the Republic guys, we're all very like-minded, kindred spirits that I've been in the space for 10 years. We've seen a lot of companies do things the wrong way, and that's why we are where we are today, with a lot of failures and restructurings in the industry. And what we saw in Republic was very like-minded individuals that have built things in the right way, and that want to build the right regulated, liquid, and efficient platform into the future.
And may I add something, Alan and Itai? Together with Republic, when Republic goes out and offer to a company to raise capital, Reg CF whatsoever, in the traditional way, the ability to offer a combination of regular equity together with tokens, and they are like you can switch between the token and the regular equity. It's huge, and I'll explain. When you go to a client, when you go to hedge fund or a pension fund, usually they prefer to have the traditional way, to hold regular equity or to be an LP somewhere. And on the same offer, you can offer the same type of asset to a different client So one client will hold the equity, and the other one will hold the digital version, and they will have the same rights. So any clients will be able to switch between the digital side to the equity side and vice versa, and it will be tradable. So when Republic goes out and do Reg CF to someone, we can together now offer them full liquid of the asset and tradable assets. So again, if to answer your question, Itai, about the volume, now try to think about tens or hundreds of tokens in the next very near future. So from now on, every Reg CF offering, it will be tradable on the INX platform to all those clients that will want that.
Thank you, Shai. Thank you, Alan. The next question is for you guys, Republic. We have a question from Ron Lucas. It's my understanding that Republic is a private holding company and may acquire INX in the near future, thus taking it private too. Are there plans to take Republic public, for instance, in a US IPO?
Yeah, actually, let me take this because I have a fun answer. So first off, there is no immediate plans to take Republic public. But that being said, we may never have to do it in that framework. We could offer Republic shares through our own primary issuance platform, provide institutional custodial solutions through our own custodian and our wallet products, and then provide secondary market liquidity on INX. And do that whole process without having to go pay Goldman Sachs 800 basis points and use our own platform and our own system to facilitate and accomplish the same goal, right? And
together with a Republic note. Together with a Republic note.
That's right, together with the Republic note. And that's much more interesting to me, right? So there's no immediate plans to go through an IPO process, but I would not forget the fact that we can use our own platform to facilitate that same activity if we so choose, just like any other company that would be looking to do something similar. Go ahead now.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think what we think of as public and private offerings, these worlds are going to collide very quickly. This is a clear secular trend that's going on across the financial services industry. And we're really focused right now on building the footprint, deepening the footprint, providing the products and services that our investors and portfolio companies expect and should expect from us. And so, frankly, we're really heads down working on partnership and integration. And, we think there's a lot of really important work for us to do. So we're one step at a time trying to build the future and not getting too far ahead of ourselves. But that future is a world that's going to look different and is going to be far more efficient. And is going to blur some of these lines, as Andrew alluded to, and we're really excited to just focus on the work right now.
Excellent. So today we're going to launch on INX our sixth primary offering, security token offering, sixth one since the beginning of the year, more or less, which is an amazing achievement. I don't think there were 6 IPOs on Nasdaq since the beginning of the year, and yet. There are many questions when issuers are considering a security token offering. Alan, maybe we'll share what it's a fairly new product, right? What do you see when companies are looking towards this route to raise capital by issuing a digital security? What are they looking for? Why they are hesitant, and how can we help them?
Yeah, I think a large part is really making the experience more seamless and education. A lot of things we bridge with education. I think one of our biggest assets is, we've been in the space for 5 years. We completed an SEC cleared security token IPO, and so and there's a lot of education out there. Issuers come to us, we need to teach them, and so that's really the biggest hurdle that I see is just teaching them about tokens, what it means, what are the benefits, and so that's the biggest hurdle that I see when I speak to issuers.
Okay. Anyone else want to add? No. Okay. We're getting closer towards the end. I want to take it to a different place now and talk about DNA, because I feel that Republic and INX share the same DNA in many ways. And I want to ask you both companies, Alan, Andrew, Ian, and Shai, what values do you see in each other that best align yourself in order to execute on our joint mission and vision?
Oh yeah, happy to jump on that, because it's one of the things that was most attractive to us when we were looking at this partnership. Both firms, compliance is at the absolute top of the pyramid. There was a lot of opportunities within this space to go a more unregulated offshore Bahamas route, and both INX and Republic went the fully onshore, very regulated, frankly, more expensive and more painful route. But it's because we knew that was the only path forward, right? And maybe at the time, not everyone agreed with that, but now, it's extremely clear that has always been the only path to success. So working and partnering with long-term, someone who not only shared that vision, but also went through the same growing pains to get there, and has been successful through that process and built an incredibly competent firm with an incredibly strong team. We're two firms that both went that path, and inevitably now are intertwined from a DNA perspective, from a contractual perspective, from a friendship perspective, because we both went through that difficult path. And I think the personality types required and the work ethic required to do that is not common, and they all sit here in this call. So I'm incredibly excited to deepen that relationship and that partnership and friendship between those two entities.
I would like to add something with your permission, Itai. Andrew, you spoke a lot about the professional side and the capabilities, and I want to say something about the people. I think from the first time, Itai and Alan, that we walk into Republic's offices in New York, and we met Ken. Ken is not on the call now. Ken is the CEO of Republic. And we met Ken and Andrew and then Ian. The vibe between the people, immediately it was like, sometimes you get into a room and you feel it, that this is the right place, this is the right people. And this is what I felt personally, that those people, Ian, Andrew, Ken, and a few others, I don't know, I can trust them. And this is the way that we walk through the agreements and legals during those 3 months. It was all with a lot of trust between the people, and I really enjoy working with you all.
Thank you, Shai.
We really appreciate it. I would simply just add that this is a group that just intellectually has demonstrated a tremendous amount of professional success, blends together a number of skills across technical engineering, legal engineering, capital markets engineering, is not scared to do things because they haven't been done, and at the same time prizes transparency and proper business practices, whilst also maintaining a very entrepreneurial, innovative attitude. That is at the core of the DNA at INX and at Republic, and so it just makes it much easier for us to all sing from the same hymnal.
Yep. Thanks for all the kind words, guys. And yeah, it's, the path that we took was very patient, deliberate, sometimes called boring, but it takes a certain mindset of a company to go through the IPO process for 953 days and see it to fruition. And we saw the same things in you guys, and it's like I said before, you see what's out there now and how things were done the wrong way, and there were many mistakes made across the entire industry, and we felt that our mindset, Republic's mindset, has always been about making the right decisions to build a company the right way.
So to summarize, regulation as a mindset and democratization of finance, giving any customer the option to hold shares, equity, tokens, and be kind of a stakeholder in the company. It's key, and we both work towards this vision in parallel ways, and now we complement each other, which is great. The last question, maybe, unless we got another one just before. We're reading a lot of news about crypto asset securities, a new term that came to life maybe a month ago, more or less, or a little bit longer. How do you see this evolve or unfold? How this will impact the industry? How will this impact crypto exchanges? And more importantly, what is the opportunity for digital securities exchanges?
You want to?
No, you
Okay.
and they're excited.
Yeah, look, I mean, the truth is that we are perfectly positioned for the maturation of this industry. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. We've been, on the Republic side, we've been cited positively by SROs, regulators, and by academics on what to do from a financial innovation perspective. We've been at the cutting edge of that in a compliant, transparent way. We have the technology and architecture to sell, to distribute and originate tokens to U.S. and non-U.S. persons. We've been doing it. We've been doing it in a successful manner. INX is set up the right way with the right architecture. There's many different kinds of ATS architectures that exist. We believe that the INX architecture lends itself quite well to scalability and flexibility in a compliant way. Frankly, and I don't want to partake in any sort of misinterpreted Schadenfreude, but as it becomes more difficult for market participants that took a different path than INX and Republic, our competitive position will only grow. And so I view what's going on from the regulatory backdrop as something that's good for our business. I think it's something that will give investors and founders more clarity and more confidence that the industry and this infrastructure is here to stay, whilst at the same time removing some participants that chose different paths than we did. So as the industry becomes more serious, more respected, and more well understood, there will be less competition and more competitive advantage for our two firms as we work together and increasingly define the future of this financial architecture.
Thank you, Ran. Anyone else?
Yeah, I would just, if you believe, like everyone on this call does, that digital assets are here to stay and are only gaining momentum, when we look at what the choke points are in the hurdles in front of us, most of those hurdles are related to either regulatory frameworks or infrastructure frameworks. And those are the two places that both of these firms excel at the most, right? And so as we see this moat that we have growing wider and deeper between us and anyone that may be able to compete with us, the areas of which are the most difficult for everyone else are the areas that we're the best at. And so that is, not something to be understated, because that's where the real value will inevitably come. We often say that Republic is a marriage of technical engineering and legal engineering, and INX is no different.
And we will
please, yeah.
Into this ecosystem. This will be a safe, clean ecosystem that's representative of best practices in Main Street. And frankly, I think, and this is increasingly the case, regulators and our elected officials will look on the Republic and INX ecosystem as an example of best practices, an example of what they should codify, an example of what is next generation and innovative and speaks to the best of American leadership. And so, we think that by demonstrating and going through our days every day and pushing the envelope forward the way we are, we're actually, not just will we be safe under this new regulatory regime, but what we're building will actually become an example for what the regulatory regime itself will be. And that puts us in a unique position, one that we take very seriously, one that we think we have a lot of responsibility to caretake and be thoughtful about with other stakeholders But genuinely, that's how we see it. Is we're demonstrating what this new architecture and financial system can look like.
As a general statement, I want to add, I think that the industry is kind of in a point of no return. And the industry as we know it today will not be the same a year from now. And think about all those thousands and thousands of cryptos assets out there today. Maybe not all of them will want to be trading in the US, but the ones who will want to trade in a compliant manner in the US will have to go through some kind of registration with the SEC, and they will have to list only on a digital ATS, and self-custody is part of it. And the fact that this ATS is available not only for institutions but also for retail and 24/7 is key. So altogether, this is the potential, and this is definitely one of the things that we're going to focus on going forward.
Yeah, I just do I have 1 minute?
Yes, sure.
So the digital assets are here to stay. They're no question. We saw the announcement from two big firms that are going to issue ETF under the SEC approvals. So on one side, the SEC are pushing out unregulated tokens that should have filed something with the SEC. They push them out of the US. But on the other side, they approved INX. They approved what Republic is doing, and they approved those two ETFs just in the past couple of days. So the digital assets and the blockchain are here to stay. The question is how. And I think what we both bring to the table is, as Ian said before, the experience, the abilities, the technology. Everything is up and running, and everything is working. INX on the ATS, we have volume, we have revenues, not a lot, but this is the way, this is the only way. So this is what we believe. The crypto assets are here to stay.
And just to add, just real quick. And also, speaking of like the regulatory challenges, really no matter what direction this goes in, the companies together are very well positioned to handle it. We have money transmitter licenses. The INX is cleared in 46 states and territories. We have a BD license for security tokens. Republic has various different licenses. So this company has the umbrella to kind of handle whatever way the regulators kind of pivot on this. So we have a lot of our bases covered.
And this is a great closing statement from everyone. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure hosting you today, and I'll see you soon, very soon, everyone. Thank you, and have a great rest of the day.
Yalla.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Newton witnessed an apple falling and discovered gravity. Ruth Graves tried to bake a cake and accidentally discovered chocolate chips. Tracy Chapman was busking her way to her big break. We all wish for one opportunity, one unexpected chance to succeed, one rare possibility to change our lives forever. We can't all wait for an apple to fall, but we all want to be in the right place at the right time, where opportunities are carefully suggested and possibilities are available to all. INX One, Wealth of Investment Opportunities.